All right, guys, what's going on? This is Coach David. I'm Coach David. That's how much I coach. I started my first podcast with calling myself Coach David. Well, there you go. We'll get into that. I am a martial artist. I am a coach. But guys, welcome to my first podcast. Appreciate your time. As I'm sure I will say many hundreds of thousands of times, the biggest thing I value most is my time. So I'm going to make sure I don't waste your time. So these podcasts will be short and sweet podcast. I don't know if I'm going to stick with that name. I don't know if it'll be technically what normal people would say a podcast is, but that's what I'm going with right now. Do I want to interview people? Absolutely. But I want it to be about other things, right? And one of the things that I like to talk about a lot, and I kind of use this phrase here and there, but it might paint the picture for some of you guys, called ugly entrepreneurship. So ugly entrepreneurship is something that I kind of talk about when, you know, the behind the scenes before you made it or beginning of you made it, you know, and I say made it loosely terms, doesn't mean money, doesn't mean success. It's your variation of success. I'm not really going to argue what's the pinnacle of success. You know, I definitely think progress is happiness. So ugly entrepreneurship is something I like to talk about often. I don't often say that word, or I don't preface it with that phrase, ugly entrepreneurship. But I do want to talk about the lessons I've learned, the struggles, the wins, the challenges, just kind of the nitty-gritty grind and grit that really what it really actually takes. And a lot of people don't talk about it. And those people that we look up to, that I look up to, that you guys look up to, they talk about it. They already made it, right? So it's something that always irked at me. So something I've always wanted to do. I wanted to do a vlog for a long time. I literally just didn't have the discipline to do it. So this is a little more easier. I come home, I get the camera set up, and I can just talk, right? So ugly entrepreneurship is something that I will interlace with these podcasts. Again, I do want to interview people. I do want to take questions. Okay, so I want to eventually truly just want to make this a show, right, in general. But got to start somewhere, and got to start somewhere. That's kind of the theme of this episode. Okay. Now, a little bit about why I'm doing this podcast and the value I'm going to bring. So, ugly entrepreneurship, talk about the struggles and the wins, things that hopefully that will help you avoid the mistakes. Hopefully, some things I can call you out on, call myself out on, and talk about just kind of developing the mindset. Am I uber successful? No. Am I more successful than most people I know? Yeah. Now, does that mean I need to level up my crowd that I hang around? Maybe. But I'm 36 and I have quite the story, guys, quite the lessons, and on my way up. I definitely am not stopping where I'm at now, and that means success, money, mindset, family, friends. So I'm going to talk a lot about that. Also, we're going to get into mindset. We're going to talk about business failures, and the lessons I've learned from those. I know I already said that. I go off on tangents. You guys will notice, I'm sure. Hopefully you guys will think they're awesome, adorable, and useful. If not, sorry. Don't have to subscribe. But I do have to go off on tangent and rant sometimes. You'll notice when I get really passionate, I'll just take that stream of thought and just go and fly with it, all right? So just be aware. One thing I will not talk about on this channel or touch on very much is politics. Just not interested in them. I just won't go there, okay? Now, take a little quick sip of water. And let's roll the intro. Yeah, just kidding, guys. I do not have an intro yet. This is how last minute it is. That's the point I want to make. So that's the theme of kind of this quick first podcast. It's not real unless you have a target sign, guys. All right? So I did this. I told my brother about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I just got this new place I moved into, slowly furnishing it. I work 7 days a week. 12-hour, 14-hour, 16-hour days, so it's a little challenging to get everything together. And I'm building this, place all by myself. I'm awful at furniture and decorating. That's not where my zone of genius is. But I just decided to do this. I haven't eaten dinner. I ate a little something for lunch. Yes, I'm hungry, but this is way more exciting, and I wanted to kind of prove something. I want to talk about something. Okay, one of the main superpowers, right? It's Jim Quick with Quick and Brain. Phenomenal guy. He's the kid with the damaged brain. phenomenal speaker. Anyways, he talks about your superpowers, right? And I think Tom Bilyeu, he talks about his superpowers as well. So one of my superpowers that I finally learned is my ability to just do, right? Definitely not the strongest, smartest, definitely not the most focused, shout out to my partner Chris, individual, right? But I have the ability to just do. My risk aversion is enormous. Like I can just go, I can just do. And that has led me to a lot of skills, a lot of opportunities, fantastic mindset. Now I will say the superpower, just like Superman, has a dark side of it, right? So Superman's greatest strength is his greatest weakness, right? Which is his humility. So even with my superpower, my ability to just do, act, jump on it, do it, the dark side of that is there's the failure rate is astronomical. I make many mistakes and being unprepared and things like that because I just do. I'll say yes, and in being prepared, that it has its place for sure. Shout out to my partner Chris again. I have been enormously more productive because I have prepared better in the last year. Shoot, the last 6 months. So there's a huge value in that as well. But what I think is more important and what is my personal superpower is my ability to do, okay? Like I have a camera, I have a light, I have a drive, I know what I want to talk about, I know I just want to do. And here's the thing, I have a big smile, right? But I'm smiling even bigger on the inside because, here, I'm gonna lean in a little bit, right? Because I know, because I've built skills and I've done things and I've achieved things just by doing, just by taking one foot forward, right? Instead of not hesitating. It's not perfect, it's not that. And I know that even though this is my first one, I'm super excited because if I stay committed to this, I know a year from now, this set will be different, for sure. But I'll get better at it. I'll get more excited. I'll know how to organize my thoughts. I'll know how to give you guys more value. Right? And I know that in my soul and in my heart because I've done it, I've been there, and that's what makes me so excited about finally, executing and starting this first episode. Because, here a quick example of that. 2.5 years ago, I barely touched a camera. I love filmography, I love cinematography, I love photography. Ask a lot of people that knew me, that were close to me in high school even. I had a I bought a camcorder, and my dad bought it for me, I forget. But I loved kind of doing that, right? But I haven't really picked up a camera in years, right? I'm not gonna get into the story of why I did. It's a little long story, but I was like, let me just pick up a camera. Let me buy a camera. Let me charge a camera. I didn't have money. I had to charge it, right? And get it just the best medium-ish camera. Learned everything I could about it. Had it in my hand. I just did it. I wasn't good. I was awful. I was awful. I'm still getting better at it. But now, people call me the video guy. People come to me for videography, photography tips. They come to me like, I'm not gonna get into it, humble brag, right? I'm not gonna get into it, but it's just an example of like, if you just start, it's an enormous power, guys. And if I could give you a power, that is a fantastic power to have, especially if you're just starting out. Especially when I say starting out, I don't mean just starting a business. I don't mean just starting life, you're young, right? I'm saying if you just decide to start something that you've always wanted to try, a skill set you've always wanted to do. Maybe it is a business, a concept, an idea, to just start, right? And it's going to be rough. It's going to not look the best, right? When we research and we have these idols and these people that we're gonna look up to, they feel like they figured it out already, right? When they become on the scene or they become in your sphere, right, of influence, right? Whether that's YouTube or personally, locally, they to you, I know what it feels like. They've already kind of made it, right? They've already kind of figured out those things, okay? But trust me, coming from someone where I think I'm kind of in the middle, like of where I know I can go, you have to just start. Everyone started, right? And look, everyone has advantages and disadvantages, okay? Sometimes people have advantages on chapters 1, 2, and 3, right? And you're like, oh my God, they exploded onto this and they figured it out right away. But then chapters 4, 5, 6, they have huge disadvantages, right? They made a huge, arrogant, wrong choice. Now they're in the freaking weeds and they have to like carve themselves out. Where you struggled 1, 2, 3, you built upon something, and now chapters 4, 5, 6, you're flying, right? So don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Don't say someone has an advantage over something else. Here's the differentiator. They started where you didn't, where I didn't, okay? So many things I wish I would have started earlier, right? So many things, so many. I pretty much wasted, right? I like who I am now, so the whole concept of like, you don't want to go back and, change things, it'll change who you are. I get all that, I get it, guys, right? But I feel like I could have been way more ahead in the areas that are meaningful to me if I didn't waste 5, 6, 7 years of my 20s, okay? So just starting, just beginning is a superpower, guys. And let me know if you need help with that, if you need clarification. Comments, you guys know the drill, how all that works. So that's kind of the main theme of what I wanted to talk about. Now, the concept is just doing. I have some notes a little bit here, guys. Yeah, I'm totally winging this because I know this is day 1, episode 1, right? I need better to formulate this. But if I didn't start, guys, right? Here's my tangent. If I didn't start, right? I even had this feeling. It took me like 90 minutes to set this up, right? Probably more. Let's say 8:30. Yeah, 2 hours to set this up, which is way more time than I thought it would take, right? Right, it's true. An hour in, I was like, I had to go back to Target and buy something else, right? To hang these things, all this stuff, like all these little things, just to make it some type of interesting for you guys to watch, right? I was like, no, look, I'll have this set, I'll figure it out. I'm super hungry. And I'll do it tomorrow, and I didn't, okay? Because I know the power of just beginning, of just starting, okay? All kinds of other things I could be doing. I could have went back to the office and kind of did a couple more things. There's just a lot of other things. I could be reaching out to my brother. I could be talking to my friend who him and I are trying to conceptualize and begin an app product. Like there's just a lot of things that I could be doing. And what value is this? I have no idea if 1 person, 2 people, 100 people, no people are gonna watch this. But this matters. Beginning matters. It is, dare say, one of the most important action steps. There are things that you do need to do before you take that first step, but that's not what we're talking about today. So this is my first podcast, and I told you it was just going to be short and sweet, and this is just me doing. This is just the first one, just getting started, and this is me, David, talking to my future self. You were right. I knew it. You knew it. And you're welcome for starting today. This is going to be cool to go back and watch this in a year from now. Shout out to Gary Vee. You have inspired the shit out of me and a generation of people. I'm going to get into him later too as well. All right, guys, I don't have a sign off, but what I will do is I will say some things from my heart, what I'm feeling like. I'm very excited to start this. I care about people succeeding. I truly care about defining happiness and whatever that looks like for you, helping people define that happiness, and then being in the constant pursuit of it. One life, guys. One life. All right, episode 1 in the books. No idea how long this is, and I am not going to spend a lot of time editing this. Shout out to my partner Chris. I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing this. All right, guys. Peace. Thank you. I know, Chris. That's your sign off.